guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with my September wrap-up. I know this is really late. I'm sorry. If you've watched my reading vlog, you know that I've had some traveling issues at the beginning of the month, and then to make up for that, I've been working extra hours at work because I had to miss out on a day at work. Anyways, I've been busy. I'm sorry. Here we are. Let's get into it. First up on my September wrap-up is my Muggle Studies book club pick, which is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. It's a beautiful cover. And this one is an Atlantis retelling. I rated this like a 3.75 out of 5 stars. I know that's a bit controversial because people were kind of bummed that I didn't like it as much as everybody else did. Here's the thing. I didn't connect very well with the characters. I didn't have a lot pulling me back to the story. It was a good story, but it just was not something that I wanted to read, I guess, at the moment. And so I was pushing myself to read something that I wasn't super in love with, and it was enjoyable. It was very creative. The way that she writes is so beautiful, but it doesn't completely jive with me. It's like just missing the mark. And it's good, and I totally get why there's such hype about it and why there's such love for this, but it just didn't fit perfectly with me as much as it did everyone else. Everybody else seemed to like fall in love with this one, and I liked it, but it wasn't like, I must reread this, I love this so much. It was good, but it just is not something that I super loved. So I don't know if I'm going to be picking up the next one, just because it took me so long to get through this one that I think I probably will skip Muse the Nightmares. But I totally get why you guys all love it, and it's very creative, and like, it was good, it just wasn't my jam. So I have all of my books like stashed under in this like little cubby of a desk, so I'm just like pulling them out and seeing which one that I get to. So the next one I read was Since You've Been Gone. I finally read a Morgan Matson book. It's been forever. This is my first Morgan Matson book that I've ever read. I've not written this. The first Morgan Matson book that I've ever read. I rated this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. It's so easy to like start reading, but I ended up listening to it on audiobook because I like listening to contemporaries in an audiobook, and I really enjoyed it, and I was able to like sink into it. I like the romance in this one. It's not so insta-lovey. I like that it builds over time, and I like that they have a common goal in this one, and that the personalities are a little bit different, and I really like that she comes into her own. So this is all about a girl who has a best friend that is basically her whole world, and then one day she wakes up and her best friend is just gone, and she just like up and left with no warning, which I was like, that's BS, because if my best friend did that, I'd be like, what the hell? Clearly we weren't very good friends if you didn't even tell me you were leaving, like moving. So she up and left, her best friend up and left, and her best friend mailed her this scavenger hunt. So her best friend used to do this whenever she went on trips, is like, these are things that you need to accomplish on your thing to build your experiences and whatnot. Her best friend mailed her this letter that for the summer, like, get a job, ride a horse, like go apple picking at night, like there's all these cute things that for her to experience. So she decides to take on the tasks and thinks that if she finishes and completes the list that her friend gave her, that she would find her friend at the end of it. So there's already some weird dynamics in this, but it was good, it was cute. I overall liked it, and I liked that the message in here is like, she would learn to become more out of her shell, and she found friends along the way, which I thought was really, it was more proportionate at the end because she had more friends. It wasn't just one friend her life revolved around. So I really enjoyed it. I liked the audiobook. It was easy to get through. I definitely will pick up Morgan Matson books in the future, or audiobooks I should say. I was saying that this very much felt like in your high school career when you just like don't care what the consequences are and you just go off of adrenaline and you just do whatever and do crazy things. that is very much is the feel of this book, and of that, like, that's the feeling that I got reading it. And so I really enjoyed like that feeling of like whimsicalness and just throwing caution into the wind. So I really enjoyed being in this headspace. Next up, we read Fiery Heart. We listened to this one, me and Trevor, over on for audiobooks. This was another one of the Muggle Studies book club picks. We are rereading the Bloodline series. 5 out of 5 stars. Don't want to give too much away, but it is starring a girl, Sydney, who is an alchemist, and she helps dispose of Strigoi. Strigoi are bad vampires. Alchemists are human counterparts who try to hide the vampire world from the rest of the world. So I really enjoyed this series, and it's been fun rereading this along with Trevor. And I didn't actually grab it, it's like over there, but we also finished Silver Shadows too. So we did what was it, 4 and 5 or something like that? Yes, 4 and 5 books this month, and 5 out of 5 stars for both of them. Next up, I picked up SpiderMan and Deadpool. Can you guys believe that I have been slacking on this series and haven't read them? So I had to catch up this month. This one is volume 4. This one, so good. I rated this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Very funny. I love the team ups of this. I love the humor. I liked who they teamed up with. They went into a like virtual world and was like pinned up, not virtual world. They were basically kidnapped and put into this world where real danger lies, but they're kind of like in this fun house that this crazy person runs. Hilarious. If you haven't checked out the series, it's great. I really enjoyed this. Next one I picked up was volume 5, SpiderMan and Deadpool. This one is Arms Race, and unfortunately, between these two, the writer changed. So this is Corinne Callan, Robson and Nenek, and this one is Thompson, Bocello, and Hepburn. I did not like this. The humor felt very different to me. It wasn't as funny as this one was, and I didn't really care for the storyline on this one, and I just was not a fan, and I rated this a 2 out of 5 stars, which is a big blow to me because this is one of my favorite team-ups of all time and one of my favorite comic standings, and so I was very disappointed that it like dropped so dramatically for me. I still have another one to read of this, and I'm hoping that this was maybe just a fluke and they'll pick up on Spider-Man and Deadpool witty banter better in the next one. Next up, we are doing our annual reread. We've already started. It is number 2, Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter. Of course, 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely love this. If you haven't already checked out the illustrated editions, they are stunning and they are totally worth a gander, and they're incredible. So 5 out of 5 stars to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and we're really enjoying rereading and listening to these ones as well. Next up, I finally finished Clockwork Prince by Cassie Clare. I gave this one a 3.75 out of 5 stars, and I enjoyed it, but it did take me a little bit to get through. But at the end of it, I totally get the whole Will Herondale phenomenon that everybody is talked about on BookTube. I didn't really get it after this, or before this one. I was like, yeah, he is cool, but he is not like swoon worthy. But at the end, I totally get it. I definitely want to continue on with this story, but I think I'll put it off a little bit because this one took me so long. So I don't know if I'll pick it up next month, but I did enjoy this one, even though it took me quite a long time to get through. Next up, I listened to on audiobook Obsidium by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Finale in this series. Oh man, 5 out of 5 stars. Incredible. I adore these books. I'm so mad that I waited so long to read them, and they're so good. They're a sci-fi book about people taking over and on spaceships and out in outer space. It's so good. Listen to the audiobook and follow along with it, because I'm sure y'all are sick of hearing me rant about this, but the audiobook is incredible. It's got a full band of cast of characters, and if you follow along, you get to see all this cool stuff in it, and it's so cool, and just go read it because it's great. Definitely probably one of my favorite books of the year so far. Well, the whole series. But definitely, like, this sticks out in my mind. Go read it. They're incredible if you haven't. So those are all the ones that I have read for the month of September. Stick around for my October TBR and let me know down below what your favorite book of this month that you've read is. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!